Hey, welcome back to the channel. I can't tell you how fun it was to have Parker here yesterday, and to get the opportunity to work on an airplane with him is well, it would be true for any of my kids, but it's just such a joy. You know, last time I built a plane, he was really young. As a matter of fact, I'll find a picture and I'll show you here how young he was when I built the last Minimax. So really cool. I mean, he lives in Palmdale. He's an aerospace engineer now, and just super proud of him. And it's just a real joy, as you can imagine. So he is on his way back home today. So I am going to actually glue his handiwork together. So I'll get some epoxy mixed up, and then I will mark out where the I'll need to put the gussets where they go, and then kind of mark so I know where to put the epoxy. Mark out where to put the epoxy on, and after I get that done, I'll get some epoxy mixed up, and then we'll get this thing epoxied together, which will be amazing. Okay. All right, so for this part, you can see that I've already got the, I already riveted the first side. Now I'm going to show you how I did that. It's just these T6 gussets that you make. Each one of them gets 6 rivets, basically on the center line of the tubing here. And so I pulled the 2 blocks out that I had in there so that this fits in better upside down. The one thing I have to make sure of is that I'm actually sort of putting a little pressure on these tubes when I'm riveting them together so that I get this gap closed up on both sides. So I've kind of rotated it and then drawn my center line here. I've got like a center line here and a center line here. And what that does is when I put my gusset on, it allows me to basically line up my pieces so that I'm on both center lines, and that's when I start my drilling, when I look like that. So that's what I'll do. And I have the other one as a reference too. I can kind of sight down it this way just to make sure it's matching across there as well. And but I'll start with getting a hole right here, and then I'll put a cleco in that, and then I'll turn this until I get it where I want it over here, and then I'll put the second hole and I'll cleco that, and then after I cleco those two, then I will go back and drill the rest of these. So all right, let me get situated here. All right, and I like to use the center punch for this part, and I want to make sure I've got all these facing the same way, so this one goes this way. Let's double check that again. All right. And I put a little mark here so I don't lose track of that. Put the left side. And then I'll get this lined up where it goes. And I just like to take my first I take the drill bit just by itself while I'm holding this, and I just twist it inside the hole here, and that'll give me a nice mark, so I can use that mark to hit with the center punch. And then I've got my spot where I'm going to drill my first hole as soon as I get the drill bit inside the drill. All right. Okay, and then we'll put our piece in there. And then I'll be able to rotate this a little bit where it goes. It's going to be just applying some pressure here. So that's the spot. Okay, And then we'll put this back together. Alright. Now for the rest, I can just drill right on through. Okay, once we get all the holes drilled, we take it apart again. And then we deburr these holes. I just use a countersink for that. You've probably seen me use that before. And we've already done this, so shouldn't be any issue here. It's all good. I did that when I drilled them. Alright, then we're using a stainless steel cherry rivet. Particular rivet, I don't have the number anymore on there, but it's basically a let's see here, it's a CCP 42 040F. So it's a 1/8 inch cherry rivet. It'll work for its depth here. Will work for these gussets to the tubing, and it'll also work for the Lexan and the aluminum hinge and a small washer on the other side of the Lexan. So I got a rivet that'll work in both scenarios. So now that I've got all that deburred, I just I put it back together. Like so. And then we picked up this off of Amazon. I had one, but just the new ones are just so much nicer because they're easier to pull with the curved handle, and this one was actually turned out to be really nice, so I enjoy using it. So I just get I just push that all the way down, and then it just takes 2 pulls here, and she breaks right off. and that's how we do it. Okay, so I've got that all riveted together. It's really nice and rigid now. It's really stiff, so that feels really good. And where that goes in the zone here is that those mounting blocks that we put in inside the structure here are 6 1/4 inches back from here, and they're basically inside the width of the side rail here. So I've basically just marked out the zone where this goes, and the thing to figure out will be how far forward I'm going to want this to sweep. How far this one on the plan goes, I like the drawing here, and that seems to be about the right angle. I may make it a little bit less than that, but pretty close to this forward sweep right here. And then instead of tapering this like this, I'm actually going to just run the 10-inch width all the way down to the deck, to the forward deck, so I don't have that tapering in like that. It was a question I shot off to the team guys. I was just curious what they suggested, and I told them I was doing the old school method. So basically this goes centered on that block. That's where it's going to get mounted. And those will be to the outside here. Let's see. The brackets will go to the outside, so there'll be a L bracket made out of the 4130. So once I get this rake forward that I'm looking for right here, I was just taking a look to the side. I'm pretty sure I kept plenty of distance so that I clear my instrument panel, and it looks like that's the case. What I'll have to do is sand. I'll have to sand a little bit of an angle in this once I figure out what this is going to look like, how far forward it's going to go. So I think I'm going to keep mine a little more upright than forward, not completely upright, but just slightly forward, maybe 2-3 degrees at the most. All right, so that's what that looks like. And then I'll, like I said, next time I'll get this. I'll kind of maybe I'll tape something to here and to the front. I'll get it in position. Then I'll start checking at kind of what the rest of this is going to look like. So, yeah. Anyway, cool to get that built. Easy enough. And yeah. So moving on. Okay, so we got all the gussets and all the ribs and everything epoxied in place, and you can see that here. The front gets this 1/8 inch ply on both sides. The other gussets are 1/16 inch birch. I had to use some 1/8 inch, just some scrap mahogany, just to push this in to keep it vertical. Didn't have any trouble on the outside. And then I did the same here, just used a little scrap, stapled it to the table, just to keep that triangular piece where we get the tube, the strut for the vertical stab mounts here. So, and then this piece was just to hold it against the block, and I repeated that over here as well, and that worked out good there. So let me just put a little clamp on this, hold that in there. And the same here, we're all good there, So the whole thing looks really good. Gonna put some weight on it just to keep it all kind of keep it all weighted down. I think I have 3 pieces. Should have 3 good pieces here to use, and that will keep us all nice and straight. I'll put a couple across here and one across the middle, and that should be good. And then I think all I have, well, actually I am out of time for today, so today I think I will probably, if I don't combine this with another video, I will, well, hey, actually I think I'll just show you this video. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a short video. At least I think it'll be short, probably will be. So I'm gonna get some weight on this, and then hey, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks so much for following along. All right.